Hello, I'm Lady Calamar. I welcome you to my channel. I am doing my 281st presentation, and it will be on this Irish goddess. That's spelled B-A-D-B. Sometimes B-A-D-B-H. People have a lot of problems pronouncing her. They call her Badb, Bev, or Boov. But her name is Bev. Bev or Bev is fine. Her name comes for crow, the crow goddess. And I have to close this because there we go. I forget to do that. There, less light coming in. Her name means crow, but also one who boils. Now this beautiful card, you see the back, comes from this deck. Gotta give credit where credit is due, everybody. The Celtic Goddesses, Witches, and Queens Oracle by Danu Forrest and Dan Goodfellow. Very beautiful cards that you can find at Barnes & Noble's bookstore, Cold Store, New Age Store, or Amazon, eBay. So check it out. So beef is a type of crow. Now modern times have associated all crows and ravens with her. But back then, she was the hooded crow, also the skulled crow. She is said to be one of the Morrigan, and that she is her crone aspect. Okay, let's get on with this. First of all, when people look at crone, at this aspect, definitely Bev would be seen as a crone. Interesting is that she's also seen as a beautiful young maiden. So she has a crone aspect and a maiden aspect, but also a warrior aspect. So she is a crow. Sometimes her name is Badb Catha, which is spelled C-A-T-H-A, but it's pronounced Catha, and that means battle crow. She is the battle crow. So we see her dealing with war, but she's also a prophetess. She is a witch and a sorceress, and our stories were not written down by pagans. It was written down by Christians after the conversions, so forced or otherwise. And they said that her cauldron, she made a prophecy about the end of the world, about how her cauldron will overflow, and when the cauldron overflows, it'll take over life, and about how there will be war, greed, this and that. And one of the things that are definitely Christian dead giveaway is when women will not have modesty. It's like, okay, does anyone know how the Celtic woman dressed and act, or lack thereof dressing? So, yeah, they didn't follow that modesty stuff, okay? Especially the way the Christians. But Christian overtones were thrown into the story of the prophecy of Maeve and the end of the world. And about how, basically, how Christians even say the end of the world is when good becomes bad and bad becomes good. Stuff like that. She's also a goddess who is a psychopomp, who has messages of the dead and also helps the dead get to the other side, where she is more kindly to them. And there's a story of when the courageous, heroic have fallen, and they go to the other side. Bev says, hey, would you like to stay here or would you like to go back to life? And the person, the dead warrior would say, maybe I'll stay here. Okay, or I'll go back to life. She would say, get into the cauldron. And she would start, doing her magic, and she would see whether they are born as children or as animals, and she would send them back. So her colors that have been associated with her are white, red, and blue, and also black. So she is also like the Morrigu, a washer at the ford. It is said that during battle, and what I mean by washer at the ford, do I mean the Ford dealership? No. It's so when there's a battle about to commence a war, and the warriors go off to war, and they see this woman washing clothes, right? And they realize it's their clothes. It is a omen that this person is going to die in war, and they still go on anyways. Badb, also, if they say the crows follow the battlefield and sort of squawk at you or call your name, it's not a good omen during the fight. It means you're going to die. You've been chosen. Badb is a no-nonsense goddess. She doesn't fool around. She doesn't like tomfoolery. She doesn't mess around. She's pretty damn serious. She is a dark goddess. Is she approachable? Yeah. So she's very serious. She may not be approachable to someone who's just dabbling or who is just, being silly or not being serious, and that you understand that she is a goddess of war. She's a goddess dealing with the dead. She's a goddess of death. She is a death bringer. So, yeah, very serious. She doesn't like being disrespected. So learn about her. Don't just fuck around and find out. Just don't. So now even ravens have been associated with her. And she's also been associated with the banshee, where her shrill, when there's a death, supposed to be a death, her shrill cries will be heard. She is a goddess of battle fury. And like I said, she could be the gentle goddess, the gentle crone who guides the souls of the dead to the other world. She is a goddess of divination and prophecy. She is prophetic speech. She is a goddess that you can do oracle cards and do divination. She is a goddess that you can, use your Ouija board with and use your pendulum. She is a goddess to help you with those things. Tarot cards, whatever. Divination by flame, divination by water, scrying the crystal ball, scrying the mirror, using crystals. She is the goddess to help you with but pretty much many types of divination. I'm not going to say all divination, because some divinations are meant for one system. So, anyways, yeah, she is going to deal with psychic powers and intuition. So if you wish to work on your psychic self and developing these powers and learning how to master and harness it, then she's also your goddess. She's also a goddess of prophetic dreams. She's the goddess that deals with the after sunset. So she is a goddess of more shadows and dark than she is with the light. Uh, she is associated. Babe appears in even in the epic Ulster cycle. She is then closely associated with Cuchulainn, 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 sorry, and she's also gets herself associated with Maeve. So those are the stories I was talking about with Maeve. And another animal that she is associated Beeve with Beeve is the wolf. Sometimes she's seen as a crow riding upon a war horse, so a ferocious war horse. Her attributes is a cauldron. So she likes her cauldron. She likes working with cauldrons. So cauldron is associated with her. So when you look at how she was looked back and I one of the stories that I can't talk mark Ferbe. I it's Tochmarcferbe. I don't know how to pronounce it in traditional Irish or Gaelic. I just don't. So there was a story that dates back to written back in the 10th century, and basically the pagans were Christians, or those who were still pagans were pretending to be Christians and hiding. So Babe appeared to even the King Ulster King, the King Concobar, and Queen Maeve, predicting of great war, great destruction, great disaster, and even death. She tells Queen Maeve that her son, that she will be killed by one of King Concobar's men. And she tells the queen, Maeve, to take up arms and fight. Then Babe appears to King Concobar in his dreams. She tells him and has a prediction that there will be a fight, a great, great war. And that this was years before the raid began, the Tanbo Kuli. And maybe giving the king a chance to avoid this, or just telling him this is what's happening, be prepared. So both these two, Queen Maeve, hail to the goddess, and King Concobar, describe Babe not as a crone, but as a beautiful, alluring, white pale lady that is beautiful and is just shining with brilliancy. So even in the destruction of the Hokas Hotel, hostel, not hotel, hostel, and she is even described as pale, but this time with red mouth. So sometimes her mouth or her lips can be stained red with lipstick or blood. So anyways, She deals with the spirit realms and the realms of the spirits, and to communicate with such spirits. She can represent as a harbinger of death in her. So, all because she comes to you in a crow form doesn't mean you're going to die. I'm just saying, and this is why people get very kind of scared of her. So, and as far as white being associated with her, the white of the snow, the white of the bones after, dead and the meat has been picked over. White was white, even in some cultures, are still uh, dealing with mourning and death. But now more in the West we connect it with black with goth, black with mourning, black with death. But white, the color white, remained a color that was appropriate and represent mourning. Mouring, to cry over death, until the time of King Henry VIII. And he wore actually white to mourn Queen Anne Boleyn. So, just FYI. The Badb is a witch. She will teach you about witchcraft. She will help you with power. She will help strengthen you. She has a way of protecting those that are hers. She deals with protection even if you're not hers. So I'm not trying to scare you away from Badb. She could be very terrifying. But the thing is, you gotta understand, she's one of the dark ladies. She's one of the dark goddesses. She's a witch. She's the old witch. I'm just telling you to, understand who she is. She deals with doom. When she fights on your behalf, she also incites fear, terror, and panic to the other side. And that's what she can do to your enemies: put fear, anxiety, terror, panic into them, and to distract them, and to bring them down. Badb is also is also associated with Neven. It's spelled Nemain, but is Neven, which means venomous. And of course, the Morrigan, the Great Queen. She's also associated with Maka. Now, she's definitely a goddess of the darker half of the year. She deals with the moon, and as Badb, definitely, I would say the darker parts of the moon, the waning moon and the dark moon. But there's no problem calling her on a full moon. That's fine. But a lot more people are associating her with the waning moon and the balsamic moon, the dark moon. So at nighttime and in shadows, she is connected to change. And we see this beautiful card again. It comes from the Celtic Goddesses, Witches and Queens Oracle by Danu Forrest and Dan Goodfellow, who painted it. He put his name on everything. She is a goddess that can do banishing, protection, and to help fight on your behalf, or to help you fight on your behalf. She could be used for very dark magic. So, anyway, she is a goddess who, how can I say? She's definitely a goddess of transformation and guidance. So she is a goddess that deals with transformation, and she deals with the end of one stage and the beginning of another. So the end of life and the afterlife. She's a goddess that can help you summon strength and basically to call back your power when you've given it. She's one of the goddesses, especially for that. She's a goddess when you need to strategize. So, anytime you need a strategy to bring down your enemy or to basically freak out an enemy, yeah, her. And she is the power of fear. She brings fear to the other side. She is a goddess of fear. Now, Badb may also be called for deep inner healing, especially the healing of the psyche and of the psychic self and of your aura. Uh, Stuff that she definitely deals with, crystals, is definitely obsidian, black obsidian, onyx, jet, definitely master shamanite. And I'm trying to think of what that was. I'm also getting. She wants me to say very dark hematite. Holly and juniper have also been associated with her. One of the things that you can give her, uh, dragon's blood, resin, and the liquid. That's also a good one for her. So, another thing is that offerings. We want to know what offerings we can give to her. Definitely red wine. Dragon's blood liquid. Dragon's blood liquid. We can give her meat. We can give her meat. The herbs of juniper and holly. We can give her black feathers. Um, some have given her the same things like they would feed their birds. But meat is also a good option for her. A drop of your blood, but be careful. Always, be cautious. Don't slice open the vein. Just use one of those diabetic lancet. Uh, You can't go wrong with sweets and shining things, shiny things. Crows, all crows and ravens have a thing for shiny things. They love shiny things. So you can keep like shiny things on your altar or around her to attract her. There's something about shiny things and little crystals and shiny pebbles that attract crows. So feel free to give her like dark fruits and berries. It's fine. And if you don't want to deal with the wine and alcohol, then red grape juice is fine. Pomegranate juice is wonderful too. Okay? I don't, if you're a recovering alcoholic, I don't want you to be around temptation. So think about substitution. It's fine. The goddess doesn't want you to burn down your life at all. So just remember that. The goddess does not want you to take down your life for her. Now, this is the goddess that's going to take charge. She's an alpha goddess. She's the alpha crow. She's the alpha. This her energy is pretty dark and pretty heavy and pretty serious. So what other things? Babe is also known as a fate weaver. So heed her warnings when she gives you one. So she can help weave fate. So what else can I talk to you about this goddess? I'm trying to think what I forgot. Her husband is Neat, Neit, Neat. Which he shares with apparently Neven. Neat. She is a goddess that's going to also tell it like it is. She's not going to sugarcoat anything for you. At all. She's not going to sugarcoat anything. So when you ask her something, she's going to tell it like it is. She is a goddess that can also shake shit up when it needs to be done. Anyway, I'm trying to think what else. Uh, she's a shapeshifter, that we know, just in case. She also can cause confusion, especially against your enemies. And I'm just trying to think what else. I think I'm running out of steam here. Uh, she is a goddess that can help you also connect with nature spirits. She's a goddess that will help you set up boundaries and stand your ground, to learn how to clearly say no when you mean no, instead of saying maybe, or being passive aggressive. No, she's not about the passive aggressive. She's gonna tell. She's gonna call an apple, an orange, a peach, and a pear a pear. She is not going to sugarcoat it. If she says, well, that's a rotten apple, well, then that's a rotten apple. She's not going to say, well, it's an okay apple, blah, blah. No, she's going to call it what it is. Her screams are legendary. Their shrieks are blood curdling. And, I don't have any crows. I love crows. I think they're really cool. I like feeding them. I'm like, ha 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 ha. Can't do it right. Ha 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 ha. Okay, I sound horrible, I guess. I tried. To me, I think ravens and crows are awesome. I love seeing them. Whole murder of crows. 3 crows or a murder. 2 crows or an attempted murder. Alright, anyways. Badb is she can act real fast. She can get into things very quickly. She has been called by Christians demons and the devil and harbinger of evil and nothing good, whatever. So, anyways, how long have I been talking? 33 minutes. Wow. She is one force to be reckoned with. So, what else can I say? Let me see what is said about here. I'll read a little bit. I can't even find it. B8. Okay. 40. But bear with me. None of the cats have made an appearance. So, here is a divinatory meaning. Badb tells you that the focus of destructions are upon you. These may take many forms in modern life, and there are many deaths and many ways to bleed out life force. Some come naturally and are timely endings, while others are filled with injustice, trauma, and grief. Every life will have many deaths within it. This card doesn't mean that a literal death will occur in your life, but it does suggest that you look the forces of destruction and around you full in the face. Root out any anger and grief and allow it to flow to enrich the soul of your life, rather than let the crow of war steal your vision from you. After death, new life will return as part of an endless pattern of shadow and sun upon your innermost self. So I would just associate this with the death card. I mean, she represents change. She came at the death of the hero Kukulin. Kukulin said so look him up. I was talking about Kukulin in my Morrigan presentation. So she's with the Tua de Danan. Tua de Danan, sorry. She is, again, Bob, what else do I want to say? She is also called, there's another name for her, calling the weeping crow, the crying crow, where she cries at the death, where she does keening. So she is going to deal with funerary and that stuff. So in modern times, what do we associate with death? Graveyard, cemeteries, right? The mortuary. The dead. She feeds off carrion. Crows feed off carrion. And there was even a story where there were multiple babes, where it's not just one, it's multiple. And as we see here, multiple babes. And we see her in her crone aspect. So anyways, thank you for watching. You guys are great. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much. Oh, friendly reminder. People think it's okay to go to an Irish person and go, top of the morning. Top of the morning. Yeah, that's what they do. No. It's kind of anywhere where they'll be looking at you like, huh? Or, wow, you're disrespectful. Or, aren't you special? So, top of the morning is not an Irish term. Say good morning. Not top of the morning. I thought I would just throw that out there. Also, another thing is, don't be mean to crows or ravens, because they remember, and they can actually teach their children and their grandchildren to despise you. So always be kind to a crow, and a crow will end up being kind to you. And check out there is Loki the Raven. I love his videos. It's so cool. I love Loki. I love the god Loki too. But anyways, give me a like and subscribe. That's the way you can pay me. I am not taking literal payments for this. I love money. So if you want, you can wish me good money and good happiness and happiness, peace, and money and prosperity. So I will accept that, all those good spells. Health for my cats, protection for my cats. So thank you very much. And remember to think about, adopting a cat or a dog from a street or from a shelter before you buy from a breeder. Okay, anyways, thank you so much for watching. As always, blessed be.